Who knew that I'd feel such pride, such a big smile inside when I saw your little body on the screen for the first time, perfectly formed child of mine? Who knew I'd take it all in my stride when they told me my baby inside me had a chromosome abnormality? We just accepted that that was our new reality, whatever that may bring. We're sorry, they said. Are you feeling okay? But I don't remember feeling bad on that day. I don't even know if I took in all the information, but not once did I think about termination for this perfectly formed child of mine. After 20 weeks of growing inside me, I saw your little body on the screen once again. A boy, they told us, there's no doubt about it, but the rest of the scan left us feeling more doubtful, because that was the day that the bad news started. They took us to a room and they sat us down. I took one look around and my heart began to pound because this was a room where I'd already been. They took me here back in 2016 to tell me my twins, your sisters or brothers, hadn't managed to separate from each other. They just didn't make it, they both stopped growing. I remember your daddy's face stopped glowing that day, his birthday of all days. So this was a room where the people here take you when they need to make you listen to bad news. A lump appeared in my throat and your daddy's eyes filled with tears. I remember the feeling of fear that captured us both as we sat in that room and took in what they said, that our baby was poorly, your stomach and head. Your bowel was blocked and you would need an operation, and there was fluid on your brain that needed further examination. And so began the trips to Southampton, backwards and forwards to their specialist team. Each time we went back, something new was seen. I was so unwell I can hardly remember, but I do recall that day in December. The list of fetal abnormalities had become quite long. I knew you were strong, but something was seriously wrong. Bilateral pleural effusions, duodenal intrusia, polyhydramnios, skin edema, fetal hydrops in T21. The most difficult time had just begun. A doctor came up from neonatal. She said these conditions were probably fatal. If you were born alive, you'd be taken down there where they could provide you with end-of-life care. By New Year's Eve 2019, a huge mass of fluid on your lungs could be seen, squashing and pushing your organs out of place. All we could do was ask for God's grace as we placed your life in his hands and the hands of the doctors. A consultant saved your life that day, inserting a drain to take the fluid away. I remember feeling sore, but once again full of awe at the healthcare system and the work that they do. But after that, it wasn't plain sailing. The next piece of news, my placenta was failing. The next days and weeks passed me by in a blur until 36 weeks, the day of your birth. There had been no baby shower, no celebration. At home we'd made no preparations, because we didn't know if you'd live or die. Would Daddy and I ever hear your first cry? A huge team assembled in the theatre room. The surgeon began cutting you out of my womb, and then we heard it so loud and clear. Your first cry, my eyes filled with tears. From that moment you proved what we already knew, that you lived by your name, Ezekiel. God's strength in you. On day 1, you survived major surgery. On day 2, you were off the morphine already. On day 3, you were almost off oxygen. Day 4 brought a setback and I was afraid, but you made it on, through and on to day 5. The journey was long, but you started to thrive. Every day a fighter, every day strong, every day proving the doctors wrong. I had prepared for the worst, but somehow hoped for the best. But I never imagined would be so blessed as you smashed every expectation placed upon you and continue to live by your name, Ezekiel. God will strengthen. You made it back home after just a few weeks, despite being told that the outlook was bleak. Against all odds, we made it, baby Zeke. Nobody knows what's to come, but your story has only just begun. And I've learnt so much from you already. You've taught me to fight, you've taught me to be strong. You've taught me to let people help me along. And when I look at my baby boy, what do I see? I don't see Down syndrome. I see the strongest person I've ever met, whose journey I will never forget. A journey which has just begun, and I have the privilege of being your mum and taking that journey with you step by step, whatever it may bring. Ezekiel, God will strengthen. You are our everything.